Welcome back, Wookiees, Rebels, and more. So today I had a quick Headcanon Corner episode where I wanted to talk about the Resistance paramilitary group that Leia starts and how I believe that it shouldn't have been a paramilitary organization and instead it should have been a New Republic branch to begin with. Throughout the sequel trilogy, the Resistance is the main heroes fighting the First Order. But the Resistance being disassociated from the New Republic has some weird connotations. It makes you ask, what is the Resistance trying to fight for? I feel like the organization shouldn't be resisting tyranny for the sake of resisting tyranny. I think the Resistance would be far better off if it was connected to the New Republic and had this dedication to restore a peaceful government to the galaxy versus the Resistance. We don't really know what they're fighting for. So for backstory, the Resistance was started by General Leia in response to the growing threat of the First Order. Leia started the Resistance after she was kicked out of the Senate, and we see all of this in the novel Bloodline by Claudia Gray. And what she ends up doing is creating the Resistance to fight the First Order. For me, this doesn't sit quite right because I don't feel like Leia would betray the government that she fought years to create. I feel like it's okay for her to be kicked out of the Senate. I don't think that was her place. I feel like she would have really good standing in the New Republic militaries, especially if there were any former Alliance members that were leaders. They could easily bring Leia on to join their group. So here's my headcanon. So following the events of Leia being kicked out of the Senate is while she may no longer be a senator, she still has powerful friends. The New Republic's military realizes that the First Order is going to become a major threat. They realize that politicians aren't doing enough and that there's too much bickering. So what ends up happening is they create a CIA organization, which will be codenamed the Resistance. So Leia ends up creating this Resistance movement, which eventually becomes the Resistance branch of the military. We know the Alliance under Mon Mothma demilitarized following the events of Jakku, but I feel like they definitely have an infantry and they definitely have a navy. The New Republic, I would imagine, has an infantry which would carry foot soldiers, tanks, anything like that. Then you would have the New Republic Navy, which would be the X-Wings. This is what Kazuda Xiono is a part of in Star Wars Resistance, and this is where Poe Dameron started his career, as we see in the comic books. We can explain the relationship between the New Republic and the Resistance fairly easily, I think. So what ends up happening is the military recognizes that the First Order is a threat. The Senate in the New Republic has too much bureaucracy going on to be able to mobilize troops or to be able to fight this on any serious level. So instead, the military decides to come up with a new organization that is a spy network. This is very similar to like the CIA in our world. They call this the Resistance, as this organization is built to resist any kind of tyranny. And who better to lead it than Leia Organa? Because of the Demilitarization Act, the Resistance doesn't get the funding it should have. So if you have the infantry on one side and you have the Navy on the other side, the Resistance sits right in the middle. So it kind of gets a little of both ends, but it doesn't get the top of the line equipment that these two groups will get. Especially because this organization is definitely a little more under the radar. I think a strong case for having the Resistance join the New Republic as a branch also helps Hosnian Prime incident. When Starkiller blows up Hosnian and the New Republic, I think it's such a powerful idea to have the Resistance be the last of the New Republic, and that this group is the one to rekindle the fire. This also helps solve some of the problems that I have with the sequel trilogy overall, which there's a big lack of politics and there's a big lack of world building. Having the Resistance and the New Republic be separated makes Hosnian just that much less impactful. And I think if we combine these two, then it makes way more sense for Leia and the Resistance to pursue and fight against the First Order and to build a better galaxy. That's it for today's episode. Please let me know what you think about this headcanon in the comments below. Let me know if the Resistance being a paramilitary group ever bothered you before, or if you never even thought about it being a part of the New Republic. I would love to collaborate with you guys and just talk Star Wars in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.